Okay, so for this week's project, I want to make elements to use in my coffee bar for Halloween. And I'm going to do something that I've never thought to do before. I'm going to make an apothecary coffee bar. An apothecary coffee bar. So, vintage apothecary coffee bar. So I'm going to start with, I've had this in my stash. I'm going to be painting this black and distressing it. And then I had these I think we bought these in a set from TJ Maxx, Ross, somewhere like that, or even Target. A set of these. And I'm going to remove the labels. And then I have these free printables that I've printed off that I'm going to antique up. And then we're going to put new apothecary vintage Halloweenish vibe-ish labels on these containers, and then they are going to be staged for my coffee bar for Halloween. So let's get started. We're just going to use the hairdryer, and we're going to loosen that adhesive holding the label on to the bottle. I'm using a hairdryer, not a heat tool, because a heat tool could possibly melt the plastic. So the hairdryer is going to work a lot better. I struggled with this at the beginning because it was kind of hard to do with one hand, trying to hold the hairdryer and pull the label. But once I got a good start on the end of it, it came off fairly easy. And so I'm just going to continue the process for all of the bottles, and then we'll move on to the next step. And now I'm going to use Waverly Black chalk paint and get this painted. You can get free printables off of Google. Just type in free images and then the style of image that you want, and you'll find a ton of things that you can print off on your printer. But before I do that, I wanted to have a layered look for the labels, so I'm using some cardstock that looks like old postage paper, handwritten things on it. It gives more of that apothecary script kind of vibe. Anyway, I'm cutting that down to size and gluing that onto each bottle before I put the labels on. Then before the labels can be applied, I wanted to antique them a little bit, so I'm just going to use Waverly antiquing wax and water that down, and then I'm just going to run that over top of each of the labels. And it's okay that it's paper as long as you don't like soak them. You know, you just lightly brush the watered antiquing wax over it. It will give that aged effect, or that, you know, moody effect that you're going for, and then let them dry for a second before we apply them to the bottles. I'm just going to use Mod Podge to attach the labels to the bottles. I'm making sure of where I want it, and then I'm just going to take some Mod Podge. I'm going to put that on the bottle, and then I'm going to lay the label on top, and then again apply another layer of Mod Podge, and then that's how you would attach those. But you're going to see later on in this video that I changed my mind and remembered that I had something else that I wanted to use instead. So then I had that aha moment, and before they were thoroughly dried, I ripped those labels back off, but I couldn't get them all the way off. So I thought, well, this will aid in that spooky effect. I'm just going to go back over all of the cardstock cover with the antiquing wax. I covered the whole thing. At first I thought I would just do where the label was, but then I was like, no, it would not match very well. So I'm just gonna go over the entire bottle with this watered down wax. And then I dab it off with a paper towel to get the excess off before I go on to the next step. And this is why I changed my mind. I forgot that I had ordered these Apothecary sticker labels from Temu months and months and months ago. And there's hundreds of them. So I just picked out the ones that would work best for this project. And this is why I even ordered the stickers. This was why I ordered them to begin with. I can't believe I forgot to use them. But hey, at least I was able to show you the process of printing off labels and how that would go, because I have done that way before as well, and it works out just as well. But I really do love the coloring of these Temu stickers. They turned out perfectly. And here it is all finished, and I love how it turned out. I added a few other little oddity elements and a nod to Hocus Pocus with this little teeny cloche that I found at an antique shop years ago that I have a dead man's toe in. And I just love how this adds to the oddity look and feel and vibe of the coffee bar, which is exactly what I was going for. It's not spooky, it's just a curiosity cabinet, if you will. I'm going to add a little teeny Clark's bar. It's a snack size Clark's bar to this area as well. Those are glass vintage Apothecary jars. I've only washed the outsides, not the inside. They still have residue of whatever was in them still there. It is so cool. I just love stuff like that. I'm not filming the coffee bar Decorate With Me. You'll see it in the home tour. So you'll have to, take note when that comes out if I've tweaked or added anything. But I really love how it all came together, and I love to, that I'm able to show you the entire coffee bar and how the project fits in it. And I hope you enjoyed this project and that you got some tips and tricks for your coffee bar for Halloween. And until next week when we do this all again, bye.